Okay, I believe everything is, let's just say, good enough. Good enough for government work. Good enough for me. So hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My day's not bad. We're going to go out here and play a little bit on the farm. As soon as I figure out how to... There we go. Change the camera. So hope you guys are having a lovely day. Today is the official first full day of fall. So yesterday was the equinox. So happy fall equinox to everyone out there. For those that want to know the temperature, current temperature is, it is 52 degrees or 11°C. So beautiful. Beautiful. I love fall. I'm a huge fan of fall. I think it's one of the best seasons. Has some interesting twists to it. You know, leaves are changing color, so that's beautiful. But all your fun things that you had are dying. So that's kind of the downfall to fall. So there's pros and cons, but you know, there's pros and cons to every season. So summer can be brutally hot. Even here in Flat Top, where it doesn't get super hot, it can still be super brutally hot, which is just not fun. And winter can be super cold. You know, I like winter a little bit better than summer. Winter can be super cold. And spring is just very rainy. Just all around, generally rainy. It's always raining. So, as you guys can see, it's a windy day. We'll peek up at the sky in just a second. I'll show you how windy it is, that it's actually just blowing in on the clouds and such and making the clouds kind of wispy. So driving this cart down here, we're going to get some water. That's what we're doing down here. We're driving my cart to collect some water. So you guys are just with me with the farm chores, and we're going to talk a little bit about the state of the farm. We're going to talk about the things that are just generally important to talk to and all that kind of stuff and all the other stuff. So if you guys are watching on the Foxhole, which is the newest streaming service I'm trying to understand, I don't have chat set up right with when I go mobile. When I do my live shows, when I do my evening shows, I should have it fixed then, but for this I do not. So if you're typing away, sorry. You can join my Discord, which is !Discord, which will not work for any of you on the Foxhole. If you guys really want to know, DLive is my main streaming site. That's where I do most of my streaming. That's what I call my home site. I know some of you might not like DLive, but right now it's my home site. So if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or I don't know, wherever I multi-stream to, if you guys come over to DLive, that's where you can do the most. Or you can just join my Discord. I will be adding that onto the Discord so you guys can watch via the Discord and chat in the stream chat on there in the near future. But right now, just trying to percolate, get as much out there to everyone as possible, because we need to be talking about, you know, how to make things better and the awesomeness of the world we live in, instead of all of this anger, hate, things of that sort. Because while there's lots of craziness going on, and it is important that you and me get out there and we prepare like crazy. You need to get your body in shape. You need to get your mind in shape. You need to get your hands in shape. You need to get everything functioning and working right. It also doesn't mean that we should be scared. It doesn't mean that you should be angry. It doesn't mean that you should be being angry at the bad people. It doesn't accomplish anything. I mean, it's important, you know, don't get me wrong. Embrace those emotions, understand that anger, but then channel it to something awesome. Do something great with your life. You know, and even if something great is making something or getting out there and, you know, helping the community do cool things, making some food, you know, teaching some kids, or just, you know, inspiring yourself to be a little bit better version of yourself. And I don't want you to mistake anything I'm saying as saying that you need to be hyper productive and you need to do. It's Sometimes we just need to slow down. So if you guys, you're new, I like to talk about the middle way. So what the middle way is finding that balance between overworking and being a sloth. There's nothing wrong with being a little lazy. You know, a lazy summer day. Lazy days are beneficial. They help keep your body in shape. They help it so you don't overwork yourself. But you also don't want to be sedentary, where you're just like, turning into a vegetable doing nothing. You know, maybe you're injured. Maybe you can't get up and do stuff. That's okay. You can work your brain. You can get this massive piece of gray matter pumping, functioning, doing the stuff that you need it to do. So, that's not, just cause your body might not be functioning, doing the stuff you want it to do, doesn't mean that your brain can't be going off and doing some awesome stuff. So if you're looking for awesome things to do, come join our Discord. We'll talk about all the cool stuff that we do. We'll give you guys ideas of stuff that you can do around the house. Maybe you're stuck in an apartment. Maybe you are in a big plot of land. Maybe you just don't have a lot of money. Maybe you're filthy stinking rich. Either way, we got lots of ideas. We can talk about stuff. We've got a really cool core group of people that we've been building over the years on the Discord. We kind of talk about anything. And by the way, everyone's welcome. I don't care what your views are. I don't care if I completely 100% disagree with you. Because if I completely 100% disagree with you, then that's going to be really weird, and I really want to talk to you because that makes no sense in my head. So, Green Fingers, welcome. I saw you hanging out in, I cannot say his name right, Sal. I'm just going to say Sal, his chat. So welcome over and hanging out with us. I'm just finishing up some chores. Actually, I'm starting some chores is really what we're doing. Right now we are collecting water. I have a cistern right here. Not only is this a spring, it's a rainwater cistern. So not only does this fill up from my spring, it also fills up with the rainwater that we catch. And we're just kind of talking about doing things right now. Today is the state of the farm. I'm going to tell you guys what's going on here on the farm, and we're just kind of throwing around ideas, talking about how to be a better version of you. Self, family, community. If you get past community and you've got it in you to do awesome service out there, that's awesome. But you know what? I don't want to put any stress on anyone. Honestly, focus on self, get the best version of yourself, and then family and friends, and be that role model, be that inspiration that your friends and family need to see. And if that's all you ever get to, you never get to community, you never get the state, you never get the country, you never get the world. That's okay. Changing one person's life throughout the course of your lifetime means that you put a positive impact on the world. And every little positive impact is great. That's all we're looking for. Just looking for, prove yourself a little bit. Just live the life that you want to live. And even if you're not at the stages that you want to be, because trust me, I am not at the stage I'd like to be. If you would have asked me when I was younger, at whatever age I'm going to be, 44, in my 40s, if you would have said, in my 40s, what are you going to be doing, Doc? And I would say, lots of crazy things. I would never think that I would be, I would never thought I would have started a nonprofit. I never thought I would be living here on a farm. There's a lot of stuff I never thought I would be doing. But you know what? I go with the flow, ride it around, and figure out where I'm being called, and just follow that call, and try to do the best version of that as possible. And just kind of, enjoy this game that we're playing, this song. Life's a song. And just enjoy the song and listen to it and dance to the tune and, enjoy it. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're talking about. While we do my chores and we get water for Lisa while she feeds everyone, because this episode, let's feed the chickens, until everybody pointed out that, you know what, Doc, Lisa's the one that's usually feeding the chickens. And you're right. When she's gone, I'm feeding the chickens. But, right, most of the time, she's the one feeding the chickens. She is the one is, you know, the crash happens. That's why I don't like this cart. I don't, whoa, and we're gonna spin around like that, I guess. I don't want this way on my gimbal. Watch, sorry guys, you're gonna go for a spin around. Okay, there we go. I don't know why the gimbal decided that we needed to do a 180, but I'm gonna go pick this up. So I'm gonna set you guys here while I pick that up because I need both hands to pick up the cart. Downfall to this cart is it's top heavy. And so if you put things on it that weigh a lot and you don't balance them properly, because, you know, here in West Virginia, nothing's flat, then what happens is everything tips over, as you guys can see with what's happening right now. Let's get this cart on a little bit more level ground. Might just be something. Sometimes it's one of those days. Sometimes it's just better just to carry it, which is what I might end up doing, just so I'm not spending so much time lugging everything around. So I set up a few things. I'm just kind of curious if any of them pop up and work. I don't know if it will, because I don't actually know how to use some of the stuff with Tidy Labs. But I set up a few things with Tidy Labs a little different today, so if you see some things pop up on the screen or anything like that, just know that that's the purpose. Okay, so got it sitting level. Let's continue on with our adventure. So state of the farm. What's been going on the farm? So I planted a bunch of fruit trees. I'll show you the pawpaw that I had to replant. Well, that I had to get another one because the pawpaw I got decided to we are gonna have to let me show you guys what's happening, because, you know, everything is, you know, level in the mountains. What's happening is both of those are sliding over that way, and then since nothing is flat in the mountains, it keeps tipping over. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry it. Now, on my downfall, we're going to complain here for just a second. Even though those little containers, they're awesome, whoever made those did not ever carry them with fluids in them, because they absolutely hurt your hands. They kind of dig in. It's this crazy dig in. So that's why I'm wearing gloves. So we're just going to go one at a time, because carrying the camera, I can't carry two. So state of the farm. Back to state of the farm. What were we talking about? So now that autumn's here, lots of fun things planned. We got a plan to button up the barn, because we are, I think it's the 22nd of September. So we're about a month away from our first snowfall, which excited about and kind of disappointed, because I'd like fall to last a little longer. But it's what we got. So one water for Lisa. Now back. So knowing that winter is approaching, we're going to get fall, we've got to do some planning on how we're buttoning up, who we're keeping, which bunnies we're going to let to be outside, which bunnies we're going to be inside. We're going to check the barn, making sure we've got most of the gaps cleaned up. I mean, I'd say that patched, but that's, you know, not going to happen, because it's a barn and barns breathe. But you know, maybe the major big ones where the snow can get in, where the rain can get in, with that kind of stuff, we'll get that handled. It's also got to prepare next year's Victory Garden plot, which will be streaming all of the prep on the Victory Garden plot. But what we're doing, for those that don't know, we're doing a Victory Garden next year. What a Victory Garden is the idea behind a Victory Garden is I'm going to go with the 1940s style Victory Garden. The government and farmers had figured out about how much you needed to grow to be able to, oh, sorry, duck. How much you needed to grow to be able to feed a family of 5 for most of the year. Now that does include canning and other things like that. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be breaking down exactly what we're going to be planting, how I'm preparing the garden. So for those that might be wondering, I'm going to prepare this garden. So what we're going to do now is this time of year, we're going to chop down all of the plants and such. We're going to walk up there in just a second. I'll show you guys what we're going to. So we're going to chop down that. We're going to leave that as a bed. I might put some hay, some old hay down on top of that, and maybe some cardboard to get that ready to break down so that I can put that good compost back into the soil, so I can have the soil pre-fertilized, pre-composted by the time spring comes. So will that, and then I still haven't decided. I want to try to do no-till or light-till, but we'll see. I haven't 100% decided what the plan of action is for that. All of that aspect is just yet, but we will see. So that's that. If they put any more trees on sale, I will be picking up some more fruit trees, because fall, at least for my area, fall is a good time to plant fruit trees. All the fruit trees I planted last fall did very well this summer, and ultimately did probably the best out of most of the fruit trees that I planted. Speaking of fruit trees, we're going to talk about the pawpaw. So let me spin down over here, and I will show you the new location of the pawpaw we just acquired. And actually, we're going to be going in some wild pawpaws hopefully later today, and eating them and getting some seeds. So here is the whoa, that's nice. Thank you. Whoa, thank you, gimbal. Oh, we're gonna play a game. So wow, the gimbal is just being silly today. Okay. So after that little dance, hope you guys enjoyed your roller coaster. Here's the pawpaw. This is a young pawpaw. This is a Pennsylvania pawpaw. So pawpaw produces this like fruit about the size of your hand, and it has the pretty much tastes like it's got a banana custard inside. So here is the pawpaw growing next to that plant, which we'll actually be taking inside. And so this is one of the flower beds that we'll be developing for next year. So right now I'm putting a lot of chicken hay down, rabbit hay. What that is, chicken hay and rabbit hay, is the fertilizer that the chickens and rabbits do for us. So this is, you guys might have saw me attempt my junk pole fence. Here is my first row of the junk pole fence. So junk pole fence, super easy to make. I'll do another video in the future on how to do junk pole fences. But the idea is you're pretty much cutting all the wood the same height, so you don't have to worry about thinking about anything. And then you're only using about 4 screws per board. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one actually only is using 3 because I've got a nice board here in the front, so that I can just lay down on the ground. And then what you do is you're just sliding these in. You just slide those in. You just slide those into that particular area, and then you've got, just a nice little junk pole fence. Easy, pretty much free, because that's kind of the idea, is that, and worst case scenario, if you don't like it, you've got pre-firewood just sitting there ready for you, drying. Right, Duck? Duck is like, absolutely. Okay. So let's go say hi to the babies before we head out to the field, because I think some of you have not seen the babies. So you guys want to see Sylvia? She is I had to peek over. Sylvia is over there sleeping. You can see the pig. She is just hanging out underneath the trees, just sleeping away. Okay, let's go head into the barn and go see all of the babies. So and say hi to them. Yeah. That's fine. Go ahead. That's fine. Okay. So, just want to show you guys that some of you might not have ever, some of you might not realize that you can keep a lot of variety of things together. So in here, you can see we've got chickens, and there's a duck, and there's some guineas. And it's just a crazy baby cage of everything. So, thanks for the follow, man. So you can just see a crazy group of babies and such like that. So, things, babies' cages are always messy. Always, they're the ones. You can't really do the deep litter because we're going to talk about more about the deep litter in the very near future, because it's a time that I need to start collecting leaves and all that kind of stuff. So there is the crazy baby cage. That's the that duck. Still have no idea. The ducks that you guys remember in the stream when we had the duck, and we had to do the duck scavenger hunt to see if we could find the duck. Have you fed everybody here, Lisa? So can I close this back? Okay. Okay, so let's continue on back outside. Spin you guys around. So here is this is what's left over of the hive that I captured. This is the wild hive, the flat top wild hive that the neighbor called and was just wanted me to capture bees. And then I split it, and then they made themselves a queen. So I'm going to show you how we're going to winterize this one. We're going to try this one a little bit different because we're going to keep this one at this location, but we're going to winterize this hive a little bit different. So we'll talk about how we're going to do that in probably a few weeks. Right now, that hive is doing well. Since they still have absolutely tons and tons of wonderful pollen with the goldenrod and such like that. So that is awesome. That is so cool. If you ever need some help or advice or anything like that dealing with chicks, feel free to hit me up. You can hit me up here on DLive. You can send me an email. You'll see my email down below. Or you can join our Discord, !Discord. And I'll be more than happy if you ever have any questions about chicks, things of that sort. But congratulations. And I hope, I advise that you get really good at chicken math, because chickens kind of start off with a few, and then you end up with tons and tons of chickens. So, but yeah, be more than happy. I've been raising chickens for almost 20 years. So, be more than happy to share some of my knowledge if you need it. And plus, that's what we do here at the Mavis Institute. So, the nonprofit that I am the director of, we kind of teach people how to start off. We're the kindergarten to homesteading. So, when I started this, I wanted to really get in depth. But then I realized that there was a gap in the market for people that are new, people that are just trying to start. And being that, 17 years ago, I was a city kid. So I grew up in the inner city. I lived in the suburbs for a few years, right around college. Then I just got tired of it. I moved out here to the country. So I live here in southern West Virginia. You guys want to see, when I say I live out here in the country, there's my hay field. There's pretty much downtown Flat Top. And this is This is where I live. But I came out here not knowing a whole lot, not being a country boy, being a kid from the inner city. Talked to a lot of great people. Whoa, sorry guys. Talked to a lot of great people. Fortunately, a lot of those old timers are gone now, but they taught me a lot of stuff. And so after being here doing lots of experiments, running my permaculture lab, we decided to start the nonprofit and just teach people how to start at the beginning. Baby steps, that kindergarten, that little bit at a time. And so that's what we do. So if you guys are interested, it's mavispharmacy.com, and pharmacy spelled with an F like a farm, because you can make all your own medicine. So you guys are welcome to, I think it's !M. If you type in that, it'll give you the link to the website. And always, if you have questions, things that you want to learn, ask me. I'll be more than happy to share all my information. I'm really good at telling you ways on not to do things. So that's one of the things that we pride ourselves in. We try lots of experiments. We try lots of ways to do things. And so I can tell you lots of things. I can tell you lots of ways that we failed. Which failure is an important part of growth, but it's also really important to share your failures with others so that maybe they don't make the same mistakes you do. So always, always happy. Those that's followed me for a while know that we talk about the craziest farming stuff. Anyway, so here we are at my market garden, or what everybody now calls the just-in-time garden. And those that don't get the joke is my name is Justin, so even though everybody calls me Doc. But yeah, the just-in-time garden. So each of these were set up as different growing mediums. This was supposed to be corn, and I completely messed that one up. But this is potatoes, and then I have the asparagus. I have the asparagus that I planted this year growing here, and it is just, I'm purposely letting it go to seed. So you guys can see the asparagus, how it looks like a fern. Letting the asparagus, this is the first year the asparagus was planted here. So I'm letting the asparagus grow here, go to seed. In the fall, chop everything down, mulch this really nicely, and give the asparagus another good chance to do its thing. But these are row gardens that I have here. So there's little mini plots. That way you don't have to walk on them. That way you don't compact the soil, and I can do lots of stuff. So up here, so you guys see from about that the top of that to, I'll show you guys where we're going to go. So all the way up there, all that yellow is, all the goldenrod is, to about right here. So this is south facing, so that is where the Victory Garden is going to go. So I'm going to come up in the fall, we're going to chop and drop all of that, drop that down, we're going to put some mulch on it, then we're going to put some cardboard, we're going to let that break down over the winter, and then we're going to see what's going on, making sure that there's not some viney stuff that's going to hurt anything, and then that's where the market garden's going to be. And hopefully, if I get my baler, even though it's super late in the year, if I get my baler working, we'll be baling part of this hayfield in the next bit. Is the best way to put it, because who knows how long, if it's not one thing, it's another. Other thing about farming, homesteading, heck, gardening, urban steading, anything like that. Something's gonna break, some chaos is gonna happen, and you're going to have to be creative, and you're gonna have to deal with it, and that's just that's the nature of the beast. But it gets you to be a good problem solver. You get to get really good at solving problems and figuring out how to deal with stuff. That's one of the things that it's one of the key things that when we start getting interns, one of the key things I think interns are really going to need to know, especially I think that's a good thing for most interns to know right off the bat, is before they have to go invest their own money in land and such like that, they can come and they can take the mistakes here. They can see what to expect. They can see the mistakes, because there's a lot of stuff when I first moved here I didn't realize, we needed to do a particular way, that why you don't cut corners on certain aspects, because you think you're cutting corners to save time now, but you look back and you're just like, man, past me was an idiot, or past me, just man, I just can't believe that guy he cut those corners, and so you get mad at yourself. So, um, and so you just have to realize that you need to think about future you. You want future you to think that you're awesome. Like, you want future you to say, man, I was a genius back then. I thought of some of the craziest stuff. So that's what you want. You want your future you to think that you were awesome. And so kind of plan for that kind of stuff. Because better planning now is saving you time and money later. And trust me, we've had to redo a pig fence a handful of times because they did not do it right the first time. So hey, you're going to learn lessons, and don't worry. You're not ever going to screw up bad enough that, it's going to be horrible. You're just going to just give yourself a little bit of headache and you'll be able to deal with things. So let me show you guys something really cool. So years and years ago, my friend used this little plot, just a little tiny plot here where we're walking, as a garden. And, as you guys can see, it doesn't look anything like a garden now. It's just, some milkweeds growing here and just orchard grass and clover and that kind of stuff. But at the end of his garden, he put Jerusalem artichokes, or sunchokes is what most people know them as. And sunchokes are in the sunflower family, and they're in the aster family as well. And they make these beautiful flowers, but they have a really awesome edible root there. Yeah, not up there, down there. Beautiful edible root down there. And I thought I've dug them all up. Every year I thought I've dug them up, but these guys are just rocking it. So super, it's kind of cool. It's kind of a reminder of, my buddy in the garden that he had here all those years ago. It's also cool because my buddy's gone, so he is currently is not playing in this realm anymore. So it's kind of cool to have little fun reminders of, past friends. And so kind of, I'll probably dig up one of those and I'll probably leave the other one there just so it comes back next year, just because it's just kind of fun. That's the one thing, is the life-death cycle. You become intimately involved with it when you become a homesteader, a farmer, a gardener, all that kind of stuff. You realize that you don't live your life by the year, you kind of live your life by the seasons, and how seasons have a bigger influence on your life than a year does. That's why going into fall right now is interesting. So it's interesting to think, like with crops, uh, you know, in my lifetime, I'm only going to have so many more, I'll only be able to pick apples from that tree so many more times. Like, that's super interesting to think about. But if I do it right, if I maintain that tree properly, well after I'm gone, other people will be able to continuously pick crops from that tree. Or if I, plan my gardens right, years after years, people will be able to continue using my garden plots well after I'm gone. Now, while I'm a biohacker and I totally am going to shoot for 122, so that means that I have about 78 more years left, give or take, I don't know. But, still only 78 more crops. 78 more times I can take apples from that apple tree. Or, if it doesn't live that one, 50 more times or 20 more times. No, it's going to be a lot more than 20 more times. But, that's just it's just an interesting concept. But maintain that tree properly, other people will be able to just get stuff from that for long well after that. So you notice, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed when I walk around, you'll notice a lot of the, people call these weeds. And there's a lot of stuff growing up around. So the reason I keep a lot of this growing is because of the biomass. And the biomass is good for, the bunnies, my free-range bunnies that run around. It's really good to rebuild soil. It's really good for the wildlife. So I try to optimize, in the permaculture world, it's called edge. So I try to optimize as much edge as possible, because edge is where the most biodiversity comes. Now, it also means that there's going to be crazy things that happen in the edge. Like, the edge gives places for not only the bunnies, it doesn't just give him a place to live, it also gives predators a place to live. So, things you got to keep in mind. But That also means that we're going to rebuild the soil, and it means the soil is going to get a lot better. So next year or in the future years, if I want to put some more fun stuff in there, I can totally add more plants and such into that particular area. And that means that I can grow more, because regardless of what you view in the world, regardless of your how you see the world, I highly suggest everyone back control of your food. So figure out how to make a little bit of food, even if all you're doing is growing a little bit of food in your house. Or maybe you're growing, maybe you got some pots in your yard. You're going to grow some of that. Or, maybe you have a little backyard and you want to grow some sunchokes. Look at this. See the sunchoke? Okay, so let me give you a perspective. That sunchoke, that one right there, there's the top. That guy's about 12 feet tall. So cool. Maybe you just want to grow some sunchokes. Maybe you just want to grow some food for the bees or for your animals. So the idea is just grow something. It doesn't have to be a lot. As I tell people, the steps to being self-sufficient is starting off by maybe growing your first tomato plant in a pot on your porch. Maybe grow some herbs in your kitchen. That's fine. That's 1%. 1% self-sufficient. Cool. Lisa makes bread. So we capture wild yeast and she makes her own bread. That's a little bit self-sufficient. Maybe you get some bees. So I know so-and-so was just mentioning something about squirrels. Now, we don't have a lot, but let me show you part of the reason why I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff on my porch. Is right there, I've got my porch bees. Right there is my main entrance door, and there's my porch bees. Let's go up and say hi to the porch bees. Hi, porch bees. Coming in, doing their thing. Oh, another thing. Maybe you want to be a little self-sufficient. Here is simple little lion's mane mushroom kits. So one of the classes that I teach at the local library, showing you guys how to do lion's mane. I have if you guys go to the Mavis Institute's website, you can actually download one of the kits. Super easy, super cheap. Because that's what I pride. That's what we try to do, is trying to do easy and cheap. And the reason we say easy and cheap is because you just never know. There's always times that you want to be doing things, but you hear the excuse, I just don't have the money to do it, or I just can't afford to. And so I get it. On a fixed budget myself, I make most of my money. I make most of my money doing a day trader and crypto, and then doing work around with other people. So, I get what a fixed budget's like. So trying to find ways that we all can thrive and not spend a lot of money doing it, but be very successful. So here, these are some more of the bees. This is in my bee yard right here by my house. So that is a split from the porch bees. Those are the blue bees. That's a split from the blue bees. This is another hive right here. That is a carny hive. And then I have 3 hives here. So this is going to show you guys the interesting with this. So you've got this hive here. This is the original hive with the carnies, right here. That's where I started off with the carnies. They did very well. Actually, I ended up having to split them a couple times. Over here, now this might seem weird to a lot of you guys, but both of these were pretty weak hives. So what I did is, there is a divider right here in the center, and so here is a hive and here is a hive. This is carnies. Those are the flat top wild bees that I caught, that are split from that hive you just saw back there. Man, my camera is just being silly today. I don't know if you guys can hear. I'm right in the flight path. So I'm going to back up a bit, because some of them are telling me they're not happy that I'm in the flight path. So I don't know if you guys can hear. I can hear the buzzing very well. I got one angry bee by me, but he'll go away in just a minute. And then we've got these guys right here, and this is another one of the carnies. This guy is, he's just, I'm going to walk a little farther away. He is just on me, blaring. He's not super angry, though. He's just kind of telling me to go away. There we go. He quieted down, which is funny. Yeah, so I was right in the flight path. That was not only was I right in the flight path of 2 hives, I was center of the flight path of 2 hives. So the guy was just like, you need to go. So now carnies, now these bees that I have, what I like about the bees that I have, these guys are pretty chill. So they're pretty calm, like besides that bee right there that's deciding he's just following me around. They're pretty chill, pretty calm. I prefer to raise, because I'm only going to carry a handful of hives, I prefer to raise the really chill, calm hives. I don't know if you guys have seen me work with the bees in my Be Aware series and such like that, but I pride myself into growing slow. I pride myself into just enjoying my time being with the bees. So one of the classes that we're going to be teaching in the near future is we're going to teach a form of meditation where it teaches you how to be calm, and you will be sitting down. Probably for most of you will be wearing veils. You'll be sitting down inside, right in the flight pattern of the hive, right there with the hive, with the veil on, just being calm, centering yourself, just listening to what's happening around you, and allowing the bees to do their thing. So feeling the buzz of the bees going around you, but also, just understanding about, the world, even when you're still. The world's still functioning around you, and it's okay to be still. Because there's a lot of times that we don't spend enough time thinking about being still. We live these crazy, fast lives, and like we said earlier, we don't slow down enough to live, a middle way. So there's times that you got to find how to chill and to stay calm. So here we are on the other side of the hayfield, down here all the way in the hayfield right by the road. So that's the pasture up there where the cows live. And that is that's going up Flat Top Mountain up there. That's the first peak, and then it goes up a little bit more. And then over where the cell towers are, that is the highest spot. I think that's the 3rd highest spot in West Virginia. It's definitely the 3rd highest spot in southern West Virginia. So, and that is Huff's Knob, where all the cell towers are. Such like that. So, and for those that want to, want proof that I'm in Appalachia, here's proof of the cars. So, and more cars up there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the cars are mine. So, oh, there's my hay baler. So, which we'll be doing videos if I get it working. We'll do some fun videos. Or maybe I'll hook the GoPro, my fake GoPro, up to the baler, and we can do some hay baling together. So, anyways, friends, I'll try to. Again, I know it's random. I know I just do these shows and don't really tell everybody when. I'm going to get better at schedules. It's just got a lot going on. But starting in October, Tuesday nights at sometime on Tuesday nights, let's say somewhere between 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern time, Tuesday nights, we'll be doing our show. So it's the Paradigm Shift. That's the show called Paradigm Shift. And in the first few episodes are going to be focused on what would Grandpa do, what would Grandma do. It's the knowledge of the past. So the stuff that we've forgotten, the stuff that I was taught, the stuff that how to do what the old timers did with the technology that we have today, but to share it, and how to solve the problems that we may occur with the ancestral knowledge that we all have. We just don't all realize how much knowledge we actually have in our heads. We also don't realize how fast and how easy we can learn a lot of great knowledge together. So just kind of showing you guys resources. We'll talk about stuff. We'll get some ideas, and we will solve some of the world's problems. So So anyways, friends, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Um, I'm going to head, I'm going to finish helping Lisa with a couple things, and then we're going to head out to the park to go collect some pawpaws. I think when we do the pawpaw class, I'll probably teach you guys how to do the pawpaw class. So, by the way, guys, I think in the description below is a link to my Odyssey and my YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see the videos, educational videos that we do to teach you guys how to do things, like on there is a variety of videos to